Okay, it's really great again to chat with you. And what I'm going to be talking about, I thought for me, what is emancipation? What does emancipation mean to me? And I just felt I will take the approach about, paving the way with African traditions. And when I say African traditions, you may be thinking of traditions that you don't even know of. No, I'm gonna be just sharing with you some about at least three key main traditions that I knew I grew up with. And as a result of those traditions, I would credit those traditions to the success, to my success and family success. Okay, so for me, emancipation is a continuous journey, doing the things I like, and being able to live healthy, being able to live happy, and having a successful life, but while doing that, paving the way for the next generation. You know, I mean, we at 50 plus, so I would say 60 plus, I am happy to reach this stage where, let me say I have elder status, representing the ancestors. And as an elder, when you think of an elder, you are thinking about a wise counselor. So being a coach, I felt, yeah, I'm there. And using my life experience and to support I would say my Black brothers and my Black brothers and sisters, and providing that direction to the younger generation, allowing them to use the technology and new learning to really move forward even further than we are, to have a successful journey. So let me just share with you, I have been, I would say, fortunate to be brought up in a very solid, I would say, I refer to that really the African family tradition. And I think that I know that paved the way for who I am today. I also had that experience of visiting Nigeria and being part of a family tradition and practices, which really reinforce the fact that, yes, the traditions that I grew up with in my home were actually those African traditions. And those three of these traditions I want to share with you, and I'm sharing them because definitely if we embrace them, if as a family we embrace them, I believe we would, let me say, break any shackles, all the negatives we have about the difficulty of achieving. Okay, so let me share these three with you. And the first I would talk about is a simple one that we know as moral values, but you may not have seen it as a tradition that is passed on. We may say something like, in the olden days, children might have been more respectful, etc., not recognizing that those olden days, those are the traditions that were handed down. So values are very, very important for us. And yes, we as elders, we say we have lost those values, but they're not lost. We just have to continue chatting with our, with the household, talking about it more and showing how important these values are. And when I speak about values, it's the simple things as being honest, being respectful, because if you don't encourage and instill those values such as respect, you would find and you would hear yourself saying sometimes that, a certain person have an attitude and they're not respectful to you, or they are the way they respond, etc. And let me tell you, with a poor attitude, it affects if you have to go for an interview, how you deal with people, how you engage with others. So that value, that quality is very important. We also look at, just working hard. And working hard is what, helps you to progress. Because if you sit down and you're not doing anything and you don't take responsibility, then we can't get anywhere. So many times when, and I'm saying we, many times when we complain that we are not progressing, or we might lay blame on all the things that we weren't given the opportunity, etc., etc. If we change our mindset and adopt or embrace those values of honesty, of hard work, having the right attitude, being charitable, meaning just, you help others, you help each one, help one. You have that community. We say it takes a village to build that child. It means that we coming together and we helping and giving support. Those are traditions that if we continue and if you have lost it, we can bring them back, because that is the core. That basic, those moral values are the core for us to start developing, and to develop really solid adults to go out there and really progress and achieve your goals, etc. So I will start by saying, yes, I must say those values, those traditional values, let me tell you, they are from our ancestors too. All right. So I want to move on to the second one. And this one is about education. Again, you may say education, what African value that, what African tradition that is. Listen to me, it is a tradition, because we know and we talk a lot, this is emancipation. So you were hearing a lot of talk about the slavery, about the days, all the suffering, etc., etc. I am sure most of you all know the history is not a positive one. It's really a lot of pain, etc. But guess what? Yes, we talk about emancipation. It means that we know our history, but we have to move forward. And how do we help each other to continue? It's a journey, as I mentioned before. To me, emancipation is a journey. So we are moving forward. And in education, I see education as one of the greatest source of wealth. I grew up believing that. And just very recently, I was speaking with a friend of mine, a professor from Nigeria, and we were chatting about education. And that is one thing he said, listen to me, education is the greatest wealth. And why do we say education is the greatest wealth? Because let me tell you, let's look at it basically. How do you earn money? And money, as I say, you need money for many things. You need money to achieve your goals. And we just have 4 basic ways to achieve money. You achieve money through your normal work and you get in salary. You achieve money if you get a lump sum and you're doing investments and you get a return of the investments. You achieve money through profits. If you set up a business, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're selling and you're buying and selling, etc., and you're trading, you get some money there. Or if you're lucky and somebody leave an inheritance. So those are the basic sources. But guess what? Many people at this stage, especially during this COVID time, very down period because money not coming in, etc., etc., and they find themselves stuck and they can't move forward. But let me tell you, if you are educated, and when I talk education here, it's not just graduating from secondary school or university and having the papers. It is also about your skills and talent. It's also about you looking at what you can do, doing some course, making sure that you are qualified in some way that you can earn an extra dollar. So we talk a lot, especially recently, the agriculture is a big thing, but you can't just go on the land just so. You have to know about planting, know about crops, etc., etc. So we have to educate ourselves in all different ways, because without that education, we are stuck. You also know that you have to make some wise decisions. You have to be able to converse and understand what is happening. So if you don't understand what is happening around you, the economy, what is especially at this time, then what would happen? So again, it would cost us no money right now. Let me tell you, there are so many courses online, from the youngest, from the time you start to read. There are courses for the little children, for the adults, for young adults, for old adults, for elders like myself. It's a continue. For me, learning is continuous. And that is one way, not one of the main ways to come out of poverty and get out of being stuck. And when we are very active and we are productive, guess what? We are not thinking about why we are being kept down, etc. What we are doing is looking for solutions to move forward. So you have to be educated, learn a skill, do something, and be great at it so you can set up your own business and pass on. Okay? And I'm sharing this because I know, and I talk about family traditions, because the moral values, education is two heavy traditions in my family, and that has worked for our success today. I recalled before my father died, what he was most proud of is that he was able to educate all 7 of his children through secondary school, to make sure he qualified to, at least, he said, get a government job. We went beyond that, and he had nothing. His whole focus was educating us so we could do much better than he did. And we did that. And that was passed on to the next generation. So he saw all his grandchildren, doing great, graduating from university and doing much better, and accumulating wealth in a way that we wouldn't be able to do it. And that was because of education. Okay, so I'm very, very, strong on that. And the third one I want to just chat on a bit is generational wealth. And when I say generational wealth, again, sometimes when people hear wealth, they panic, because they think, oh, you have to have a lot of money saved and you have to have a lot of property, etc. No, nothing is wrong with that. But don't panic when I say generational wealth. So when I talk about generational wealth in this situation, I want to share again, and it is not difficult, that belief that some people have, that because as Black people, we were kept back so much, we are disadvantaged, etc. That is difficult. No. Hey, we know about working hard. Our ancestors, where they went through enough. So we understand resilience. We understand working hard. We understand focusing. Think back of your parents, of the early generation, what they did, coming from nothing to bring us to where we are. So we definitely could carry on that tradition, that bringing taking our families out of poverty if we're there, and if we're not there, and we are in a better position to even do better. Okay, so it starts from young. We have to start talking to the younger ones. So those, I'm talking to the grandparents now, the parents, whoever. Start having family chats. Hey, have chats, discuss what they want to do and how we can get there. Not that we are too poor to do that, or we are too Black to do that, or we didn't get any opportunity. No, we can all do it, and it has been done. We have endless examples ahead of us with success stories. Focus on that. A lot who came from nothing and made it, and we can do it, and we just, more and more of us can do it. Okay, so you start from small, and there is an African tradition again. If you observe the young ones, you observe they have certain skills, etc. You encourage them. Not everyone may be the doctor and lawyer, what you may in your head feel that is the best way to go. They have fantastic skills. You could be anything. So don't discount the fact that the child may not be in terms of the academic realm to be the doctor lawyer. But let me tell you, actually right now, those who have the skills are the one making all the money. The entrepreneurs outside there who using their talents and skills making money. So don't discount. What you have to do is encourage, keep encouraging, push the young ones into the direction where they can use their skills, their talent, their education, and make it work for them by doing better, by being very successful and start. That is a way of passing on, let me tell you, generational wealth. We already spoke that education is wealth. Hey, educate them, teach them, push them in the right direction. That is building wealth for the future. Okay, so it is nothing about going and finding money. It is starting. And let me just share this quickly in terms of wealth. That aspect of it, that African tradition in my home, from the time we start, from very early, we grew up not having money, but we never, my parents, my father never spoke about poverty. It wasn't about poverty. It's always about what we can do to achieve our goals. We always had food on the table, yes, not much, but we were all very happy and you know, you have to show gratitude to what you have. So let me just share this quickly. When from the time we started to work, he had a list. You must join a credit union, you must buy insurance, and you must start saving. And guess what the savings was? The savings was towards to buy your own home. And I'm talking about from age 70. And let me tell you, having insurance, that habit of saving every month by putting money into a credit union, all right, by you having a habit of, he used to give us a bill to pay, those things, let me tell you, it encouraged savings. Of course, you have your little bank savings because your money going to the bank. So that was a must. He sat down, we worked out how much money we were earning, and we had to put, based on how much we were earning, we had to put that. The bank account was in our name, the credit union in your name, and you're saving now towards building that house. And I must say, at the end of the day, each one of his 7 children were able to have their own home. And it had nothing to do with waiting on marriage to a spouse, etc. That is about discipline. That is about understanding about money. We had to do a little budget too to know how we spending our money. And that was a way of creating that habit and that generational wealth. So today, we have much more than our parents had to pass on to our children, and they will do the same, and that is how we keep building. We never thought of being too poor. We never thought of not being able to achieve. We never felt that we weren't bright enough for anything. Some of us, you know, reached at the higher level. Like my sister, you know, did a doctorate, etc. Some were very skilled, but we were all, each of us, successful and happy and could pass on. So those are the 3. And yes, those traditions, and as I said, why I know the 2 that they were African traditions, because having been within the Nigerian family and understanding how they operate, it may not be in the strict sense, but we have inherited that from our ancestors. So I want to close here and just thank you all for listening, and to encourage you, listen, there's so much hope. Find a mentor. Look at those. We have so many worldwide who have done fantastic, who continue to do great. We have elders like myself here who, and Terry-Ann, if Terry-Ann allow me to call her elder, who are willing to help. And you are not, and I'm talking about 50 plus, you all are not too old to change the attitude, to bring on the younger ones, not to pong them, not at all. And when I say pong for the foreigners, I mean to not criticize them in any way, but they are the ones, they know technology. They can take our knowledge, what we learn, our traditions, and move forward with it in a different way, all for success. So stay safe, continue to look forward. Yes, our history is not the best, but listen to me. We are moving forward. We are doing great. And together, it's about supporting each other, not putting each other down, embracing your Black brothers and sisters, not looking to criticize whether, whatever it is, but trying to be the change. So I thank you a lot. And let's hear Tarian now.